You may now begin your presentation.
Welcome to incredible India, where culture echoes, tradition speaks, beauty enthralls, and diversity delights. This incredibly beautiful home of Earth's most ancient civilizations and world's oldest religions is now marching into an era of sustained economic and technological advancements, a growth phenomenon impacting the world market. In this fantastic turn of history's 8th page is the young Indian straining at her leash, epitomizing India's want, India's hope, and quietly as the world watches, a pulsating dynamic new India emerges. An India which is looking up at the sky and saying, it's time to fly. Even as this India leads, the India of the masses say, yes, I'm ready to follow, ready to knock the doors of progress. From a heart full of burden to a heart full of optimistic pride, the very heartbeat of modern India, her pulsating youth have responded to this call to lead with serene command. SIFE India is a proud part of this phenomenon, being a catalyst for shaping leaders who will create a better world through business. And we belong to Alpha Arts and Science College, which is the pride of South India. Namaskar, I'm Mahalakshmi, pursuing my bachelor's in Information System Management.
I'm Mariam Varghese, doing my bachelor's in Computer Science.
I'm Sri Vishnupriya, a student of Biotechnology.
I'm Suraj JK, doing my bachelor's in Computer Science.
And I am Bharatwaj, doing my bachelor's in Visual Communication.
December 26, 2004. The killer wave tsunami. Has nature had the last word? Alpha SIFE had its own answers. Alpha SIFE's first project in 2005 showcased Nutriva, an aloe vera bread spread which created business opportunities for the tsunami-battered fisherfolk of Injambakam and the Adivasi tribal community, formulating a widely networked and a strong business strategy. Today, more than 10,000 bottles have been sold at an average of $2.5 per bottle. In 2006, Alpha SIFE undertook the project of regularization of the Palmyra tappers. These people were often mistaken for illicit toddy tappers. By evolving a stable business strategy involving ethical norms of trading, the Alpha SIFE today has impacted close to 650 Palmyra tappers. Alpha SIFE's allied projects, sericulture and rehabilitation of handloom weavers. This involved in the creation and implementation of a proactive and effective marketing strategy that has doubled per annum revenues of farmers and also handloom weavers.
Sea change through seaweed. An endeavor to sow the seeds of economic opportunity to the tsunami-battered fisherfolk. Join our cameras as they capture our project and tunnel through our marine expedition. In 2007, Alpha SIFE extensively surveyed the tsunami-hit coastline to assess rehabilitation and other needs. The survey revealed the persistence of psychosocial effects, psychological impact, lingering fear of the sea, social impact, aid extended by the government frittered away in excessive drinking and gambling. The team approached one of its business advisory board members, Dr. Saktivel, a marine expert and fondly referred to as the father of marine biology in India. The discussion with him led us to the idea of seaweed cultivation as a highly viable option. The survey also helped us understand that seaweed cultivation would help us address 3 Millennium Development Goals laid out by the United Nations. 1. End poverty and hunger. 2. Gender equality. And 3. Environmental sustainability.
So, What are seaweeds and what lies beneath their shimmering gloss?
Seaweeds consist of several groups of multicellular algae, red algae, green algae, and brown algae. The focus of our project, the carrageenan, is an extract from the seaweed Carpophycus alvarezi. Seaweeds are extensively used in food industry, pharmaceutical industry, and are powerful biofertilizers.
The other features that attracted us to these otherwise unnoticeable algae are ease of cultivation. The bamboo raft cultivation method has a 30-day cycle, yielding a harvest 3 times that of its initial seed and avails high profit margins. Infrastructure required for floating bamboo raft cultivation method are bamboo sticks, ropes, braided pieces, anchors, and fishing nets. Many companies, including multinationals, source seaweeds for various applications. Some of the major seaweed procurers in the world include PepsiCo, Ryko Carrageenan, and Marcel Carrageenan. An analysis of the world market by the Alpha SIFE team discovered 2016 global buyers of seaweed as against 336 global suppliers, of which only 9 exist in India.
The search for a favorable ecosystem for seaweed cultivation took us 400 miles down south of Tamil Nadu to Akalmadam, a village on the coast of Rameshwaram.
But why Akalmadam?
Apart from an ideal marine ecosystem, we studied that the fisherfolk at Akalmadam were highly receptive to an alternate marine-related occupation due to the endless issues originating from the violations of international coastlines. We found this opportunity not only to educate the fisherfolk on adhering to international regulations, but also suggesting seaweed cultivation as an alternate economic opportunity to boost their sagging income.
How did we go about formulating and implementing what we studied to be a fantastic business opportunity to fit a pressing need of our community?
The Alpha SIFE team held extensive brainstorming sessions with their BAB members and SIFE alumni. The BAB members, drawn from experts in different fields, evolved a sustainable, effective and a scalable business strategy with mechanisms to measure the impact of our undertaken project. A detailed SWOT analysis of the project was carried out. On analyzing the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats, the team felt that our project had considerable strengths with minimal obstacles. Seaweed cultivation had a huge potential and offered multiple opportunities to improve the economic status of the fisherfolk.
Business strategy.
1. To train fisherfolk with risk appetite and willingness to lead to perform as entrepreneurs. 2. The entrepreneurs were to be grouped together as cooperatives to help sharing of resources, garnering efforts to tap the market and evolve ethical procedures. 3. Each entrepreneur to manage a team of 4 to 5 employees. 4. To network with corporates directly to market produce. 5. To ensure quality. 6. Tap technological advancements.
Ladies and gentlemen, our journey into entrepreneurship. Traveling back to Akalmadam, we identified 4 entrepreneurs who not only show the zeal to own the project, but also the willingness to learn. These entrepreneurs went at work to form a cooperative named Meenam. Each of the entrepreneurs employed 4 to 5 employees who were trained in seaweed cultivation. The entrepreneurs and employees were organized into a simple yet an efficient organization structure with specific goals and objectives.
Goals of the entrepreneur.
Source,
Technical know-how and funds.
evolve,
Business strategy.
incorporate,
Business ethics.
manage,
Finances.
and ensure
Long-term sustainability.
Goals of the employees:
Adhere,
to a set code of practice,
inculcate,
personal money management skills.
Training.
We as a team took the initiative of being trained and made training available to the community in association with Aquaculture Foundation of India. The training module covered a 20-day hands-on training on bamboo raft cultivation method with periodic talks and seminars on the uses and benefits of seaweed. Safety procedures formed a very important part of the training. Additionally, the entrepreneurs had to be trained on sourcing of funds and marketing the products.
Sourcing of funds.
The SIFE team networked the entrepreneurs to banks and other financial agencies like microfinance groups. The team had extensive discussion with Mr. Uday Singh, manager, State Bank of India. State Bank of India then offered debt funding amount to 75% of the project cost of each entrepreneur. Mr. Muniandi of Tamil Nadu Rural Reconstruction Movement, a local NGO, came forward to extend 25% of the project cost from the Tsunami Relief Fund. Our BAB member Dr. Chelaya, a former member of the Planning Commission of India, and officials from National Insurance Corporation and Federal Bank conducted 3 workshops, each spanning 2 days, on sourcing funds and fund management for the entrepreneurs.
Marketing.
The team assisted to extensively network the entrepreneurs in direct marketing of their products to corporate sectors in India. Mr. Periyasamy, marketing manager, PepsiCo International, Ramnad district, offered to procure the seaweeds from the entrepreneurs at 30 cents per kg. Mr. Raju of the German Food Research Foundation is in the process of procuring seaweeds for additives and preservatives, the orders of which are being finalized. Mr. Uday Nair of the Kairali chain of restaurants has entered into a memorandum of understanding with Meenam for regular purchase of seaweed.
Financial management.
Financial management was identified as a vital component of independence and growth by the SIFE team. By networking the entrepreneurs and employees with a local audit company, we educated them on the necessity for good accounting and auditing practices. The entrepreneurs and employees were also given advice on importance of filing tax returns. Further training was made possible by teams of State Bank of India, Canara Bank and Federal Bank on risk management and investment strategies for the entrepreneurs, opening of savings account and good investment strategies for the employees.
Business ethics.
Business ethics, apart from just obeying the law, include practices that help raise the standards. Towards this, the entrepreneurs were trained on 1. Defining a clear vision and mission for the company. 2. To set a defined code of practice for the employees. 3. Ensure quality by evolving good quality assurance procedures. 4. Transparency as the underlying principle in all company practices. The employees were trained on 1. The necessity to understand the vision and mission of the company and work in accordance. 2. Adhere to the defined code of practice to enable better performance. 3. Adhere to safety standards in all operations to enhance productivity.
Sustainability.
The SIFE team identified both project and team sustainability as important components of long-term results. For project sustainability, the team ensured good organizational structure and training as essential factors. Lateral expansion of the projects would be possible only if many employees took to entrepreneurship. Having identified this, we implemented intensive training programs on areas including financial and risk management to ensure employees evolve as entrepreneurs. SIFE, with the help of Mr. Buril Raul, one of the Business Advisory Board members, has stepped up efforts to increase local market consumption and tap export potential. The future roadmap is laid out with implementation in 3 villages. The villages are Pallipuram, Kotapatnam and Panayarkuppam.
Regarding team sustainability, processes have been evolved before members are chosen to be a part of the SIFE competition core team. Members are desired to put in 60 hours of work before being eligible. Members would then present the proposed project with the initial survey results.
Measuring impact.
So, how did we evolve a strategy to assess and measure the impact of a project?
We did this by studying 4 parameters: a complete case study of one entrepreneur, financial results of all 4 entrepreneurs, the opinion of media in India on our projects, and the grants given in appreciation of our projects. We present the sample study of Kadal Singham, the unit promoted by one entrepreneur, Mr. Anand.
Mr. Anand had a very efficient organization structure with a clear vision and mission for his team. Vision: Kadal Singham to generate maximum employment for the community and produce good quality, marketable products.
Mission: to achieve this, the objectives were employ suitable manpower, train and empower them, and to define clear ethical principles as a means to enhance Kadal Singham's business. Ms. Devi as supervisor, was allotted the role of ensuring the employees adhere to the defined codes of practice and processes of cultivation.
No profit, bad business. The team felt the best measure to study impact would be the financial results achieved by the unit Kadal Singham. We present the account statement for Kadal Singham for the period December 2007 to March 2008. Mr. Anand on his expenditure incurred $411 towards loan repayment, $11 to maintenance, $22 to insurance, $16 to raw material, $19 to marketing and other miscellaneous expenses, and $3,057 to salaries. Income through sales, $5,143. Net profits generated, $1,607. The profits generated and the sustained source of income of $191 for the employees helped measure that the concepts imparted and trained were effectively implemented.
Financial results of 4 entrepreneurs.
A net profit of $6,450 was reported over a period of 4 months.
A brief look at how the community at Akal Madam fared before and after our project.
An unstable monthly income of $100 generated from fishing grew to an additional stable monthly income of $250 for employees and $550 for entrepreneurs from seaweed cultivation. Today, an employee earns a net monthly income of $350, a 250% increase on their earlier income, and an entrepreneur $650, a 550% increase on their earlier income. The best measure of the impact of our project was the stable income generated and the considerable percentage increase in revenues earned.
We now present the other parameters which help assess the impact of our project.
Media in India, compliments for a credible job.
A very credible indicator of performance was the media accolades received. These include the Times of India, Deccan Chronicle, The Hindu and other regional papers to name a few. The Hindu, India's national newspaper, on 20th May 2008 in its article titled, Fisherfolk Income Swells, thanks to college students' initiative, had this to say. The students had, with the help of non-governmental organizations, brought 20 men and women of the village under 4 self-help groups. Each person now earns nearly rupees 9,000 every month from seaweed cultivation in the shallow waters of the Bay of Bengal.
Grants received in appreciation of our project.
Yes, grants flowed in from everywhere as people understood the impact of our project. These include Leo Group of Companies, Axis Bank, Federal Bank, MZ Associates, and Kairali chain of restaurants.
The Alpha SIFE is proud to associate with a project which made a difference in making this world a better place. Our project helped in implementing 3 of the 8 Millennium Development Goals laid out by the United Nations. 1. Poverty alleviation. 2. Women empowerment. And 3. Increased biodiversity.
Criteria fit.
How effectively did we measure and demonstrate that our project created economic opportunity to the locals at Akal Madam by helping them become successful entrepreneurs?
Market-based economics.
The SIFE team helped the community in understanding that seaweeds have huge demand in the market with limited supply. They were easy to cultivate and therefore scalable. To succeed in a market economy, the principles of organization and implementation of good business ethic practices were incorporated. This helped in creating a highly profitable business.
Education and skills training.
Training has been a very important criterion of our implementation methodology. Education and skills training were imparted through workshops and seminars. Periodic orientation on entrepreneurship, financial management, quality, safety standards and ethical practices were provided. On-field training by experts from Aquaculture Foundation of India were also organized.
Entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship has formed the very essence of this project. The entrepreneurs were organized and trained on important business organization skills including sourcing of funds, setting up transparent organizational structures, ensuring quality, and networking to market products and thus scale up operations.
Financial literacy.
The entrepreneurs and employees had extensive orientation on healthy financial practices, necessity to audit and adhere to the laws of land, risk management and reinvestment strategies, importance of savings and dealing with banks.
Business ethics.
Business ethics is not just about obeying the law, but it also ascertains raising the standards. The spirit of ethical principles of business has helped in ensuring that all four entrepreneurs presented healthy financial results. Importance of adhering to the law, including respect of international boundaries, was imparted. In addition, companies defined vision and mission for better performance. Codes of practice were clearly defined. Quality assurance procedures were implemented. Safety standards were set and adhered to. Transparency was ensured in all company practices. Direct marketing to corporates, avoiding interference of middlemen.
So, how did we ensure long-term sustainability of our projects and team?
Team sustainability.
The strong selection methodology adopted for team selection has put in place a mechanism for team sustenance. The sustained work and enhanced results in the previous projects showcases Alpha SIFE's efforts in evolving in long-term projects.
Project sustainability.
Efforts in the current projects including tapping of export market, increasing local consumption and implementing in 3 more villages have ensured the long-term sustainability of the current educational program. Continuous training and monitoring of performances would be undertaken to ensure sustainability.
We present a success story narrated by Miss Devi, one of the persons impacted.
என் பேர் தேவி. எங்கள் ஹஸ்பண்ட் பேர் முருகேஷ் சார். நாங்கள் இருவருமே சேர்ந்து தான் இந்த குடும்பத்தோடு சேர்ந்து தான் இந்த வேலையை பார்க்குறோம். எங்களுக்கு மாதம் 15,000 ரூபாய் சம்பளம் கிடைக்குது. கஷ்டம் கொஞ்சம் வேலை கஷ்டம், நல்ல லாபம் கிடைக்கும். நம்ம எந்த அளவுக்கு கஷ்டப்படுறோமோ அந்த அளவுக்கு நமக்கு லாபம் கிடைக்கும். நாங்கள் எங்கள் 3 பசங்களையும் படிக்க வச்சுருக்கோம், வீடு கட்டியிருக்கோம், வாசல் கட்டியிருக்கோம், இடம் வாங்கியிருக்கோம்.
We are proud to have made them economically independent and have provided them with a ray of hope where there was none. We thank a strong business advisory board who made this possible.
A perfect recipe for a smile that expresses fulfillment, joy, and hope is
Hard work,
Cooperation,
Sincerity.
Diligence.
and
SIFE!
Thank you, SIFE India. Judges, you may now begin the question and answer period.
Could you just tell us what PepsiCo wanted with the seaweed?
Thank you for your question, sir. PepsiCo buys seaweed from this village to use as a coloring agent and various other applications from this community. The dried seaweed is procured by PepsiCo and a component called carrageenan is extracted from it, which PepsiCo uses.
So it could have a wider global application.
Yes, it has more than 250 applications worldwide.
As you spoke to gender equality, I saw that it appeared that 2 of the businesses who were joint ventured into Minam were women-owned businesses. Do you have quantitative documentation, and what was the experience there? That was ambitious.
Yes, ma'am. We have 2 entrepreneurs plus 8 employees who are women. Before, they never used to get into the sea and not be involved in any activity. But now, after they showed the zeal to own the project and the risk they showed, they were willing to take any risk. They have come forward to invest in the project, and now they are very successful.
You mentioned the code of conduct for the employees. Who drew that together, and could you give some examples of what was in the code of conduct?
Yes, sir. The code of conduct was made with the Aquaculture Foundation of India, plus with our help as well. And the code of conduct included following ethical practices as well as safety standards, wearing of gloves, and following proper business organization structure, as well as reporting on time, the time of period where the rafts have to be pulled into the sea and brought back out, the amount that has to be met during a specific month as well.
And to add on, the entrepreneurs now they take care of their code of conduct that employees really adhere to.
Just a question on some of the numbers you have here. If I understood your presentation, you had 4 entrepreneurs, on average employing 4 people. So could you explain how 500 lives were impacted?
Yes, sir. Directly, 20 families were impacted. That is the families of the entrepreneurs and the employees. 500 people were impacted on the whole, as the people involved in the transport, the packaging, the tying, the marketing as well.
To add on to it, sir, the entrepreneurs really procured the infrastructure required for the bamboo raft cultivation method from the local market. Even those people are really impacted into this. It's all mutually impacted.
You have achieved so much in so little time. Can you share your major difficulties and how did you overcome them?
Yes, the one very difficult aspect we faced in the beginning of this project was understanding the mindset of these people. They were malnutritioned, they were not ready to switch over to any other occupation. We had to understand them, take out the phobia of getting into the sea, and then after we impacted this, the phobia gradually decreased to a certain level. So this was one of the major difficulties we faced, and we are very happy that we have been successful and provided them with a ray of hope in their lives.
From tsunami was disaster, and you saw the opportunity in terms of how just to come up with that project.
Yes, ma'am. The tsunami, there was no proper rehabilitation source to some major places in the coastline, so we decided to come forward and fill those gaps where rehabilitation hadn't reached. So this was one of the villages which were affected very badly by the tsunami, and this particular community required an occupation which would be related to marine-related activities because they were into fishing. They had the skill sets of doing marine-related activities. So by learning about seaweed with the help of Dr. Saktivel and its wide applications and the profit that is got from this, we chose seaweed cultivation in this after the tsunami.
To add on to what she said, since fishing is a traditional occupation of the fisher folk, we still encourage fishing, and where women are actively involved in this seaweed cultivation, where women also come and help their wives to pull the rafts inside and to harvest also. So it is an additional source of income for the fisher folk.
How did you finance your activities in the project?
Yes, sir. We got grants, $2,730, which were acquired from Leo Group of Companies, Axis Bank, Federal Bank, MZ Associates, and Kairali. These were used by us on basic training for us to get trained in the beginning, acquire the specific hands-on training in bamboo raft cultivation method, and then impart it to them. And then on our travel, our skill sets, our education about the project initially, as well as some few modules that we had to cover.
You have a few entrepreneurs running the same project now. Did branding, pricing, and distribution ever come into the picture?
Our project has finished 4 months of implementation. We are in the initial stage. So right now we have not received any problems regarding that. But if we do in the future, we will definitely work on a stronger organization structure to minimize these problems, sir.
Your time has expired. Judges, please join me in thanking the Alpha Arts and Science College SIFE team from India. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we will take a short 10-minute break.